I know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here and grateful to be sharing this Sunday with you. Why don't we, if you're able, stand and we'll sing our way into this service.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, let's move and sing this morning. I'm letting in new information into this body. I'm changing the old pathways in my mind. I know there's no going back, 'cause I'm running on a different track. I'm letting my soul be renewed today. I'm letting in new information into this body. I'm changing the old pathways in my mind. I know there's no going back, 'cause I'm running on a different track. I'm letting my soul be renewed today. Let the love in. I'm letting the love and abundance come my way. I'm making room in my life for all I dream. I know I am what I believe, so I'm holding up a vision of me in perfect flow with the
virtual audience know
every
we are having
day.
camera troubles. We apologize.
I'm letting in new information into this body. I'm changing the old pathways in my mind. I know there's no going back, 'cause I'm running on a different track. I'm letting my soul be renewed today. I'm letting the love and abundance come my way. I'm making room in my life for all I dream. I know I am what I believe, so I'm holding up a vision of me in perfect flow with the infinite every day. In perfect flow with the infinite every day. Sing it out. In perfect flow with the infinite every day. Well, good morning. Thanks for singing into this day together. Take a minute to greet some of those beautiful faces out there. If you're on social media, let us know where you're tuning in from.
So I am going to invite you to go into ceremony. And the way I was trained is that ceremony is only as meaningful as the energy we put into it. And so as you're witnessing these incredible people who have spent a huge part of their spiritual journey learning how to be a light in the world more fully, how to pray for other people and situations, have taken years of study, and then have entered into a path of deep service to this community. Just hold them and hold yourself as they come forward. And they're going to be sharing the declaration of our principles, which is the standard by which all science and mind centers operate in the ultimate dimension.
We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause.
This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation.
The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God.
We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in us, and that all of us are incarnations of the one Spirit.
We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever expanding.
We believe the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it.
We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all.
We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God.
We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence.
We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling Spirit.
We believe that the universal Spirit, which is God, operates through universal mind, the law of God.
We are surrounded by this creative mind which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it.
We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind.
We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life for all, to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny.
We understand that the life of humankind is God.
And the way we express this in our CSL community is with our vision. We inspire all who come to expand their inner connection to spirit.
And our personal mission statement for CSL Bellingham. We are a loving, supportive community that teaches and practices authentic, spiritually living. So I'd like to invite the practitioners to raise your hands to surround this community with energy and love as we say a prayer, knowing that this incredible body of helpers, people who are willing to pray, to see the truth beyond all appearance, offer their energy and love to each one here and to all who are listening. Know with me that the wisdom and the love of the Infinite One is moving in each of us, all of us, and that because we are aware of this, it has a more powerful avenue to express and experience itself through all of us, lifting the world and lifting one another in love and compassion. For this I'm grateful, and so it is. Thank you, practitioners, one and all. Okay, you can now be seated. And as they're getting seated, I'd like to invite any of our children to come up front with Nevin, and I will sing you out into your outdoor classroom.
Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
The band is going with me here.
I just do what you tell me to do.
So I would like to invite our two new practitioners to come forward. You saw them at the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the A and the Z. Yeah, every single one of our practitioners, you may have noticed, is wearing a stole. And these stoles are they have the symbol for all the religions on the back, and it's just meant to be easy to recognize. So here is your badge and your certificate. And Mary, these women and the other students that join them deserve every honor for the work that they put in. A true endeavor. You are so blessed, and we are so blessed to have you both. Thank you so much. Now, before we start again, some people choose to take the practitioner course, which is a 2-year course, for their own personal development, but not to enter into the practitioner path. And so we have someone like that here, and I want to invite her up to receive her certificate because she did complete everything, but she just wasn't ready and wanted to do practitioner life in a different way. Wendy, thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Oh, that. She can do that one.
I'll do this.
Yeah. We have.
Good morning. And is this on? Yes, it is. I'm sure you've all checked your cell phones by now. If you haven't, they are off, right? So I'm Joanne, one of your practitioners today, along with Heidi and Andrea Wood, who led our meditation. So now I invite you to join me in prayer. So know with me that there is a divine goodness, an intelligence that is all powerful, all good, and all love. And this intelligence, this divinity, this energy resides in me and in you. And it's always operating through us and expressing. And there's nothing we need to do or get. We just need to be. We can let go of any doubts or worries and know that just being ourself is really the reality, the spirit within. And so I let go of those things and I practice joy, love, kindness, and compassion. And I give thanks for this community that's here to support each other, that's filled with love and friendship. And I'm grateful for that. And so it is.
We're going to do a little musical meditation together. May I never lose my wonder. 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 Let's sing that again. May I never lose my wonder. 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 Wide-eyed and mystified, may I be just like a child, staring at the beauty of the world. Wide-eyed and mystified. Wide-eyed and mystified, may I be just like a child, staring at the beauty of the world. May I never lose my wonder. 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 Wide-eyed and mystified, lose my wonder. May I never lose my wonder. May I never lose my wonder. May I never lose my wonder. Well, we introduced this next song almost a couple months ago now, and some of you experienced it in the song circle that we had with Yam and Jesse. But I thought it was a good one to bring back today for the theme, and also just holding the space. I think exactly what the practitioners just held for us, this circle of community, and knowing that each and every one of us has a place here, and we just as we are, and all of our parts. And so there are 3 parts to this song, and you are welcome to. We will kind of introduce each part, and you can sing along with us. But also, if at any point you feel like one of these parts really resonates with you and you've got it, you can be singing it. It's really cool. You can have these counterparts going on. So don't be shy if you feel like, oh yeah, no, I really love these words. You can sing it. You'll feel it as we get going here. We're going to start with. I want to also just thank my music team for showing up this morning, and Kyle filled in last minute for us. And he's going to rock out on bass here. Here I have a place, here I do belong. Here there is no separation, here all is welcome. Here I have a place, here I do belong. Here there is no separation, here all is welcome. Let's do that again. Here I have a place, here I do belong. Here there is no separation, here all is welcome. Here I have a place, here I do belong. Here there is no separation, here all is welcome. Bring what I have, offer what I can. I'm exactly where I need to be, right here as I am. Bring what I have, offer what I can. I'm exactly where I need to be, right here. Let's do that again. Bring what I have, offer what I can. I'm exactly where I need to be, right here as I am. Bring what I have, offer what I can. I'm exactly where I need to be, right here as I am. Third part. I am love, I am loved. I am whole, I am held. Sing it out now. Sing, I am love, I am loved. Yes, I am whole, I am held. Oh yes, I am love, I am loved. I am whole, I am held. Beautiful voices, yeah. I am love, I am loved. I am whole, I am held. Here I have a place, yo, yeah. Here I have a place, here I do belong. Here there is no separation, here all is welcome. Here I have a place, here I do belong. Here there is no separation, here all is welcome. Bring what I have, bring all that you have, exactly where I need to be, right here as I am love. I am love, I am loved. Feel that. I am whole, I am held. I am love, I am loved. I am whole, I am held. Here I have a place. Here I have a place. Here I do belong. Here there is no separation. Here all is welcome.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah. How about that? Robin, Kyle, Kathy, a little hand for them as well. Yeah. It's I always say teamwork makes dream work. So many special treats today, and one of which is that Andrea and I are going to be doing, well, we don't know what to call it, tandem talk, speaking talk, you talk, I talk, so stay tuned for that. But what I was really personally moved about is the way that we were surrounded by that love bubble, and how whatever's outside that door just dissolved. And what I experienced, and I'm kind of thinking a few of you also did too, if not all of us together, is presence. And then in that presence, if we break it down, it's being present to the moment so that the divine can reveal itself. And that's what I really, really felt. I wanted to add something to this celebration because I think it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
In our movement, philosophy, some go as far as to call it a religion. The jury's out. The jury's out. We identify a very special person by the name of Emma Curtis Hopkins. And she was recognized as the teacher of teachers. Let's celebrate the teacher of teachers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we're all going home now, happy.
That would make it easier, wouldn't it?
And for all of you who are staying for our new member meeting, welcome to you. Can't wait to see you later. And we have a lot of good yummies in the kitchen.
Oh, boy, we
that door
do.
is going to go flying open, and there's some really good snacks for us all to enjoy together today.
Leftover from the Gourmets for Good, there was a wine tasting with charcuterie boards. No wine, but the charcuterie's here.
Honesty is our policy around here.
Yeah.
So many of you follow our come on over.
Do you need to be by that? I can
No.
be over here.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I can be right over here.
Okay.
So our annual theme, we like to kind of ground us now that we're getting, into the spiritual juice of what we're doing today. So our annual theme is your soul's compass. And I think month to month we've really recognized how deep that goes. And every month we have a series that goes along with that theme. And so this month's series is on being on the purpose of being. I wrote the minister's message on that. And with that being said, my talk, or our talk today, is entitled on being yourself. And what does it take to be ourselves? And how many selves have we been, right? Like Amber was Tabor was talking about, what we've been, and then the transition to our new way of being is really being a new self. And the practitioners who entered into this course of study many, many moons ago have now transformed into other selves. And so this idea is where we would like to go today. And a couple of the things that I think are important is that we have a shedding away process that has to happen for our truest version of ourselves. It's kind of like a computer download, right? You know, anybody do like download on a computer? Yeah, of course. You do some kind of download, and all of a sudden your software becomes newware, right? And it's kind of like that philosophy. We're going to kind of go through that, and then we're going to go through this idea of, as we're shedding, we're moving into our intention, because then things change for us, and we're able to say, hey, who I was before needed, wanted, and had to have these things. And now who I am today has altered or changed or transformed. It's the nature of spirit itself. It can't hold still. It has to constantly move. It constantly expresses. It grows and it expands.
Mm-hmm.
So I've brought a couple of little grounding ideas to us today, and one of them, well, two of them that I'd like to touch on. And yeah, I am a little like, whoa.
It's okay.
Whoo, yeah, whoo. Yeah.
I think it's kind of fun to see how other people do it, because, you know, so she's got this screen and, you know, touch screen and all that, and I'm like, old school.
It's all good.
It all works.
New school, old school.
Yeah.
Good school.
Intention.
And yeah. And my spiritual teacher, which you know and love as well, Kathy Hearn, she would always say, okay, it's your turn to pray. What is it about praying in front of our mentors? It's like, what? I forgot how to pray. So, yeah, let me get back to where I was.
Yeah. There's a story, isn't there?
There is a story. There's always a good story.
It's a good idea.
So the stories I wanted to bring are really kind of touchstones on where we're going. And one is Buddha.
The Buddha.
Probably know more about the Buddha than anyone in this room.
There's so many stories. Which one did you pick?
Let's talk about him and his
when
fleeing
he was the
in
prince?
the night. Yes. Yeah. And so the Buddha, who was actually Siddhartha,
right,
escaped in the night, fled the compound. And the compound was a luxurious place where there was no death, disease, no dying, where he could have as many wives as he wanted, and all the luxuries and jewels available to humankind were at his disposal. And yet something was calling him, and it called him forward and outward to, well, you guys all know this routine. This is my portable pancreas that I carry around with me everywhere I go. There.
Very important.
Thank you so much. And so Siddhartha fled in a carriage. And as he left this compound, he was shaken. He didn't know anymore what he believed, and he was very, very confused as to what he had been told, which he found in the end was illusion. Remember those programmings? The downloads that were given to us? The idea that we're supposed to be less than what we really are, we're not worthy, we're not capable, we're unlovable, comes up in all different kinds of ways. This, on the other hand, was a child who was, we would think, spared of that. But as he left, he realized visually that there was death, there was disease, there was old age, and there was poverty, and there was suffering. He took that and he transformed not only his own life, but lives today. And so I think that's what ties into our storyline, is that we have the shedding away of what we wear, right? The new intention of where we're going, and then the transmission. And he transmitted to all humanity the idea of being able to accept the suffering as part of the human condition, yet only part of, because all the luxuries and beauties and amazing environment that he had surrounding him are also part of the human condition. And like the principles we shared, the universal principles shared by the practitioners today, we have access. We're not spared if we're looking for that idea of, spared because we follow positive aspects of positive thinking and positive living. However, we are well equipped to be able to offset any kind of tendencies that may be pulling us into directions that are not pleasing to us at the moment. I don't know if any of you were here when I spoke last time, but the idea of, consciousness is not a microwaved minute rice. And I know it sounds like it should be. And I know when I came here, I thought, oh, it's all going to be great because it felt so good to be here. And it's both. It's all. It's the parts. It's every single aspect of life that makes us whole. So what do we do when we're shedding away? I'm going to give you a story, and then I'm going to turn it over to Andrea. Okay. The shedding away process for me happened in my first class. Any fans of first classes here? Plenty of you in the room. I love it. And I remember this particular class was super experiential, right? So we got together and had a exercise of going into the garden. Our center at that time was similar, but definitely not as vast and beautiful as ours here. But in the garden, there was rocks, like stones that were used to pave, et cetera, et cetera. And so the instructor said to us, I'd like you to go and be called to a certain rock. So everyone went out. We got called to a certain rock. We went back into the class, not unknowing what was going to be said or how he was going to approach his next teaching. And as we came back, he said, okay, hold that rock. So imagine you have a rock in your hand. Hold that rock for a moment, would you? Yeah, put it in your palm, okay? Then through the day, we were instructed to not drop the rock, not put the rock down. And that rock started to get a little uncomfortable, even if it was a small rock, because then lunch came and we had to eat. And then we had to go to the bathroom and not drop the rock. And so the metaphor, I'm sure you arrived at it before I'm even going to say it, but the metaphor was really this, that we carry around a lot of old belief patterns, habitual patterns that we talk about a lot here at the center that really can be shed away, can find transformation, and can become a different access point. And all of those negative beliefs that we put into our minds are actually the vehicle for our healing. And so at this time, I'd like to kind of throw Andrea into the mix and see where she'd like to go with this.
Right. Because we have not practiced. I didn't exactly know. So first of all, you have your rock? Okay, drop it. Because that's the next stage. The next stage of our illumination and awakening is having the ability to move forward with intention. And so for me, when I was hearing about intention, just like Zina's first class, the class on intention was all about how we could create this vision of our lives that was so incredible and so beautiful. And we did all kinds of processes where we visualized it, and we made vision boards, and we were taught how to pray toward that and all that stuff. And it sounded so good. And it was, eventually. Because that's the thing about intention, is that we enter intention carrying that rock. Carrying the old ways of thinking, the old ways of behaving, the old ways of speaking. And eventually, if we really want a new experience, we actually have to be new to have it. And so eventually, the rock has to go. Maybe in fragments, but it's got to go. And that part isn't spoken about too much. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. in a lot of the shamanic traditions, there is an understanding that the place to start with intention is paying attention. Paying attention to what? To our own mind and what it is doing. And you would think, that we already know that because it's so busy. And so when you first start paying attention to your own mind, busy, 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 has a lot to say about everything and everyone. And one of the things about moving with intention is letting go of the habitual ways that we encounter reality so that a new reality can show up. So there are actually 8 ways that we encounter reality that we were taught. And we were taught at a very, very, very young age, and we were asked to practice that. We were shown how to practice it. Our caregivers practiced it, our teachers practiced it, our fellow classmates practiced it, and so we got really good at it. So would you like to hear these 8 ways? Because these are the rocks that have to be shed. So the first one is, it can either be you or I should. Fill in the blank. So I should, and if you hear the mind or even that coming out of your mouth, you know that you've entered into an old training, an old program. The same is true when you do you should, which is even more powerful because now you're trying to control someone else. And you may have noticed that doesn't work. But we try. We were trained to try. You should, I should. So that's the first one. The second one is I ought to. I ought to stop. I ought to do. I ought to. Or you ought to. You ought to be nicer to me. You ought to take me out to dinner. You ought to. The third is, I need to. Now this one is the hardest one for me because sometimes I slip into this because I'm saying to myself, well, I need to remember to blah, 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 blah. But even in that context, it's an old program based on something that actually isn't necessary. Needing something isn't necessary. Desiring? Yes. So you need to is even more deadly. Or here's one, I must. I must, or you must. They're all sort of the same but different. And then the last 4, you're supposed to. Do you know what you're supposed to do? I bet some of you immediately went to yes. I do know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to. What does that mean to you? Do you hear yourself saying that to yourself sometimes? I do. I do. I'm supposed to take those supplements and I don't want to. I'm supposed to not eat that, but I don't want to. Often the I'm supposed to's are the ones that I resist the most. You can tell. I have to. You have to. You'd better. I'd better. And lastly, you've got to. You've got to. I've got to. So these ways of thinking and speaking to ourselves and to other people actually have a lot to do with fear, honestly. And they have a lot to do with what we need to pay attention to so that our intention can manifest itself and we can drop the rocks of judgment that all of those statements stand for. And, there's nothing wrong with us in having judgment. We were trained that way. And so were the people that trained us. There was a teaching about judgment, and some of it's very, very good. Like, I can remember standing with my children at a crosswalk, singing the stop, look, and listen sign. Stop, look, and listen before you cross the street. Use your eyes and use your ears before you use your feet. It's a judgment, really. It's like you're assessing reality and saying, okay, is it safe? So the judgments were intended for you and for me to be safe in the world. But unfortunately, actually, that doesn't work very well, you may have noticed. And eventually, if we're really wanting to transmit our truest nature, who we truly are, those kinds of judgments of other people and ourselves have to drop away. And so the first step for shamanic people is to be walking with a deep attention to what the mind is saying and noticing the judgment, noticing where it points, whether the arrow is pointed at ourselves or the arrow is pointed out. It's an arrow. And my teacher used to say, so if someone else shoots an arrow at you of judgment, just grab it in midair and throw it into the basket at your feet. But the same is true when we shoot arrows out or in. We can still grab the arrow as soon as we realize we've done that and throw it in the basket at our feet. We don't need that to control reality. We don't need that to predict the future. We don't need that for any reason whatsoever, really. Assessing, yes. Judging, no. And why is this important to your intention? Because to be new, we have to make changes at the cellular level, which means that there's an ask when we set an intention to be new, to be different, to have a different experience. And you can't have a different experience if you're not different. You may have noticed. So that's where the rub is. It's like, okay, I want a different experience. I just want everything to stay the same. I've done it myself, so I know that laugh of yours is with me. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I've done that. I want it all to stay the same, but just be really much better and different. And that doesn't work. So intention is what sets us in the path of invoking and inviting newness into our hearts and our minds. And we assist that by paying attention to the inner dialogue, to what it is that we're actually saying about ourselves and other people. And we begin to catch ourselves more and more. And for me, when I catch myself now, I laugh. A lot of times out loud, because it's just so silly. I know it doesn't work. I know that's old training. And so I laugh, and then I take it back, grab the arrow, put it in the basket, and instead affirm what it is that I would like to transmit to myself or to another person. That's what I love about the body positive movement. Have you heard of that? Well, it's big if you haven't. And and it's all about transforming the judgment that has been arrowed at people for decades now about how their body doesn't match how they're supposed to be. Remember? You're supposed to. I'm supposed to. That's one of those. And so the body positive movement is a movement where people are transforming that judgment and saying, hold on now. Everybody's completely different. Heritage makes a difference. Diet makes a difference. Life experience makes a difference. And you can't just be throwing judgments about people and how they're supposed to look, because we're all supposed to look the way we look. Body positive. Where else in our lives can we do that kind of shift? Where instead of judging and trying to control reality so that it conforms to what we think it's supposed to be, we open to what it is that it can be, and then allow it to transform us. And as soon as we begin to transform, it transforms. Going back to the story of Prince Siddhartha, who ultimately became the Buddha, the enlightened one, you know, he didn't become enlightened just because he left the palace. He had a really, really hard road. And he sort of cast around trying to find the ultimate understanding that would take not only himself, but others out of suffering. And so he did all kinds of things, including he studied for 7 years with ascetics who didn't eat more than a grain of rice a day. And he darn near died because of that. In fact, he was dying, and a young girl who was a milkmaid saw him dying and offered him milk, and he took it. And it saved his life. So, you know, along the way of our intention, one of the teachings from that tradition is try to find the middle way. where you've let go of the old and you're open to the new, but you're not so rigid that you bring all that rigid judgment that you had in the old to the new path and try to insert something else with the same mindset. There's a middle path for you and for me that allows us to set an intention, work with the challenges of transforming ourselves so that that newness can arise, and then move forward into transmission. And you're going to do that one, huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, the other mic. Hello?
There we go.
All right, I just got transmissioned into a new mic, and so here I am to just kind of sum up what we've been talking about. And I think we start with where we were, right? It all starts with the beginning. And we were in that consciousness of a clear mind while the practitioners surrounded us, while we celebrated the practitioners. And so that clear mind, if someone were to walk in and just imagine for a moment they came here at that moment and they were new. Transmission is that illumination and that awakening that happens in our own lives. And you start to notice as you do the real deep work that's sort of part of the journey, that suddenly those that don't even know you recognize the clarity of mind, the peace in your heart, and the connectivity that you have, and the light that you shine in the world. I think transmission is oftentimes put into sort of that, if it isn't the Buddha or the Christ whose message was so clear about changing our projection mind, or the arrow or the rock, it really is a metaphor for our own lives, and transforming ourselves is the idea of coming back to wholeness and a feeling of loving kindness for ourselves, a self-care towards our wounded parts that can be healed through love, and a sharing in consciousness with others so that we can transmit together, brighten the world, one little person at a time, times these practitioners, times everyone in this room, times us too. That's a lot of light in this really, really beautiful place that needs us. So I'd like to turn it back for the closing prayer and a little extension of this thing.
You know, for me, transmission is really being our truest nature, our truest self. And one of the most powerful examples of that was spoken by a 6th century saint who said, let me be a raft, a boat, a bridge over troubled water. Simon and Garfunkel stole that. Let me be a lamp in the darkness. And so please, as I do this prayer, know that you are transmitting. Truly you are who you are at the truest level, more and more fully. So let us join together in prayer, knowing that there is a wisdom beyond measure that is moving through each of us and through all the world. I know it doesn't look like that sometimes, but I know that at every single place and in every single sacred human, that wisdom is seeking to be made manifest more and more fully. In you and in me, that wisdom is flowing through us, and it is operating with a love that has no limit. And so I accept for myself, and you can accept for yourself as well if you'd like, that the love that is ever present, always flowing, is first and foremost directed to opening the heart and mind of me and you. Not for any selfish reason, but to enable the light that we carry, the wisdom and love that we are, to shine more and more brightly in the world. For if we cannot love ourselves, we cannot love anyone else. And so I allow this love, this profound divine love and wisdom, to be the opening so that the light that I am can be brought into the world more fully. And I see that you are doing the same. And I'm grateful for the effort each of us makes on the spiritual path. so that the light shines ever more brightly. And love has the opportunity to heal all that is in need of healing. In gratitude, then, I release this prayer and know it is working in you and in me as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. It's a lot harder than it looks to share a talk. Right now we're going to have an offertory, and the ushers are going to come forward. And I want to thank you in advance for any donation that you make to the center. It is so wonderful to be a part of this community, and your financial support is so appreciated. Thank you.
To receive all the good that is from me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I am open to receive abundance and prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is from me. I am open to receive all the good that is from me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I am open to receive abundance and prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. Receive all the good that is from me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I am open to receive abundance and prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is from me. I am open to receive all the good that is for me.
I always want to say yeehaw at the end of that one. Okay, we have a couple of announcements for you. I was asking Zina if she wanted to make the announcements, but I want to do this one, and it's because it's her class. And her class is starting this week, and it is really a very incredibly intention-setting, heart-opening, mind-expanding class. It's called Beyond Limits because of that. And if you haven't signed up for it, it really is an investment in your spiritual path to take this class along with other people, like-minded folks. It's available hybrid, meaning that you can take it with Zoom or in person, and it starts this Tuesday at 6 o'clock. There are 8 classes and then a half-day retreat. And it's really, truly transformational. So if you haven't signed up, please consider doing that. There's there's some limited scholarships available if the cost of this class is an issue. And I really want those of you who haven't taken a class to consider taking it. And as you heard, we have these incredible charcuterie offerings for our new members who are coming. And it's actually a new member information session. We actually don't want anybody to join the center unless they're, first of all, informed about what we're doing here and how we run ourselves and things like that. But we also want to make sure that it's the right decision for you. So we invite people to come to this even if they're not quite sure they want to be members, and then you get to make a decision after you've heard what we have to say. As long as you've had one of these classes, and they're about an hour long, hour and 15 minutes, then anytime you want to join, you can join after that. So that's going to start as quickly as we can get the charcuterie boards out in here. And then, of course, in the classroom, we have cakes to celebrate the practitioners, all of them, but especially the newbies, Patty and Mary. And we'd love you to have some cake and coffee or tea and celebrate. And then we're going to kick you out at noon because the practitioners are actually having a meeting. So We'd love you to celebrate with them and then be on your way. And then, I don't know if you know this, but our center has a ritual team. And these are people that are really proficient at different types of rituals from all different types of paths. And they are offering a fall equinox ritual at the Old Fairhaven Labyrinth in the park down in Fairhaven. And you're invited to come. It starts Saturday the 23rd. That's actually equinox here in our northern hemisphere. And we'll be starting at 5:30. And it's an interesting thing. I mean, it is like multifaceted ritual. So it's super fun to come and just be a part of it in any way you want. And so join us. That's this coming Saturday at 5:30 in the park at the Labyrinth. And then let's see what else. We have Conversations in Consciousness coming up. And Kalish, did you want to speak to that, or you want me to just say? No, why don't you? Yeah, come on up. Kalish Leviel, one of our practitioners, has been offering this opportunity for spiritual discussion.
Morning. Some of you know that I'm a rabbi, and in fact, I love it when you refer to me as a rogue rabbi. Because I'm like no other rabbi, and I've been watching a lot of them this weekend. And so what we're going to do, because it's Yom Kippur on Monday, supposedly I'm going to fast all day, but you can't hold me to that. But we'll come together for our conversation in consciousness, and I'll do a brief, if that's possible, a brief something around Yom Kippur, so that you can have a deeper understanding of it.
Great, thank you. That's tomorrow? Or is that a week from Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rosh Hashanah is happening now. Yeah.
Rosh Hashanah is
now. Yeah, right now. All day. And then last but not least, I want to thank Patty and Zina and Jen Brown for the Gourmets for Good that happened yesterday. How many of you were there at that one? And I hope you slept well. We had a great time, and thank you both, and thank Jen Brown for being part of our Gourmets for Good season, and for all of you who have either prepared food or bid for a place at the table. We only have 3 more to go, and the season ends. So right now, I'd invite you, if you're able, to stand, and we'll sing our way into all those delightful treats.
Anything is possible when you believe. You know anything is possible when you believe. You can make a mountain move when you believe. Oh yeah, you can make a mountain move when you believe in yourself. In yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, I believe in me, sing I believe in me, yes I believe in you, we believe in each other, there ain't nothing you can do, no, 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 I said I believe in me, yes I believe in you, we believe in each other, there is nothing we can do, no, anything is possible when you believe, oh yeah, anything is possible when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself. Beautiful. Thanks for being here today. We'll see you again soon.